Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are going to smash things with Tifa. This is the newest Shinryu that just dropped with Faris. So we are running Tifa, Core, and Garnet. The slight adjustment here is I normally would run Tifa, Core, and Lunafreya, but we are beginning the elemental lockout. So pretty much with this fight, you are locked into water, lightning, or wind elemental damage. Even neutral damage is nullified here, so it has to be one of those elements. Since Lunafreya is enchanting for ice, that's no good. When she's not enchanting, Tifa and Core are non-elemental, so that's not good. So Garnet is basically serving Lunafreya's role. Garnet does not force charge, but Garnet does provide ridiculously good auras still and helps enable the party like Lunafreya does. And then Garnet will also either water or lightning enchant or both, which is fine. We want to just get enchanted for one of those three elements and we are good to go. So as soon as we start applying that here, our team will not hit for ones and we will be doing just fine, right? So we apply the Aquamarine. That should give us the water enchant that we need. And from this point forward, we can kind of just do our normal thing. In this fight, we really never get in trouble. And it does become quite the stomping. So I am commentating over a recorded one. So I already know how this fight goes down and it is not good for the enemies. There's even like an oversight on my part, where I actually could get a lot more damage out of the force time that I didn't, and we still absolutely crushed these guys with an insane force time, so you guys will see that coming up. So we're doing the core setup here. We went ahead and we applied Oath of Absolute Defense to one of our characters, and then we went and applied basically his own buff to himself, and then essentially what we can do is we can swap out for Selfie. We'll swap out Tifa for Selfie and we can force charge. And so we are basically going to quadruple wall and then move forward with the LD, and then Selfie will still be out on the field. And then we are going to get Oath of Absolute Defense on Garnet, so we'll have double Oath of Absolute Defense when Tifa comes back in, right? Thankfully, this Selfie actually is a proper Selfie. We like that when we get a Selfie that actually force charges properly. And gives us those 10% on the walls that we want. In my another video I recorded where I was showcasing Faris, the Selfie was not force enhanced, and it's very disappointing when you hit wall and you expect it to go up and it doesn't go up. At least you still get the Rapture debuff, but yeah. Just make sure, you guys, if you're going to put Selfie out there, give us a force enhanced 30, please, 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 please. So in this fight we get that. Now, basically what my oversight is here, this was actually my first time doing the run. So I went in completely blind other than checking for the elemental lockout. So I knew what elements I was locked into here. But what I didn't know was how aggressive these enemies were going to be in jump cutting turns. So what happens is I actually went into Selfie too early. And because of how aggressive these enemies are, they actually burn through the Rapture debuff before I get into my force. So we're not like constantly launching. Tifa will still provide some Dolphin Blow launches, which is good. But even without the constant launching, we do an absolutely insane burst phase. I think it's the highest burst phase I've ever done. And it's pretty crazy because I just went in here very casually. Like, I didn't really optimize with like damage dealing calls or anything here. I really just kind of just focus on getting the setup and then just going into it. And it turned out pretty good. So I'm officially going to make the statement that Cam is dead at this point, because characters like Tifa and Core and now Faris with their FRs, they're just so much easier to operate, and they're outputting just as much, if not more, percentages and damage than Cam does, and Cam just takes a little bit more setup. Cam is still very viable, but for me, with these characters, it's just so much more fun and easy to do. And the nice thing is these characters are operating as intended, whereas Cam, you're basically exploiting a mistake that they chose not to fix. So it just feels more legit to me, and I don't know. So Cam, I'm pretty much only breaking out Cam at this point for lockouts or like a Dare to Defy situation. When I just want like to be able to do that cheese to get through a fight easily, and if I'm locked out of, say, Tifa from a different fight, right, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now Tifa here, setting up with this massive BT attack, and we all know how nasty Tifa is with that BT effect up. What's going to be crazy is we still have Renoa coming, who is also going to be insane damage, and I'm going to get her as well. Those of you that have watched my channel know I am not a challenge runner. I am a path of least resistance type player. I love stomping the game. So I am going to pull for the meta. I'm going to pull for the stuff that stomps it. And I like to make my fights as easy as possible. So, you know, to the average player that's maybe more limited on resources, my recommendation is get Tifa or Rinoa at least. But if you really like stomping the game, get both. Not that you would run them on the same team, but you can use them in different fights, especially in Lockout, and essentially just have these absolutely stomped characters for at least 2 fights in a Lockout situation. It's going to be very, very good, right? Alright, and we do throw the Raijin prod on just for, like, you know, any risk that, you know, as they get more aggressive that they want to try to HP damage, I know that we're going to be fine. So anything they try to throw out, and look at that, single digits, like, the brave reductions are kind of crazy here, and then having the debuffs, like, yeah, we're doing pretty good here. But once again, they are burning through that Rapture pretty quick. So by the time we actually get into Force time here, I don't think they have Rapture up anymore. Right now they're launchable, but I'm pretty sure that that does not last. Because after this Reaper's Gale, I think they jump cut again, and they just burn through it. So that's something I wasn't paying attention to. But it's hard, like, you literally, I would have had to selfie, like, almost right before I'm ready to go in, because once they get past this threshold, they're going to jump cut on every attack I do until their force gauge is full, pretty much. So they just take so many turns. So it is kind of hard to set the selfie up here. So I would just have to have used it, like, way later, is all I would have had to do. Maybe wait a couple extra turns. But obviously I'm fine with how things turned out. This ends up being a very low turn count fight as well. So all we have to do now is simply just get to the Tifa turn. Double checking my buffs there, making sure I'm good. So yeah, we just reapply the EX. And we're good to go. So yeah, then they're going to jump cut turns again. Then we're going to get Tifa, and then we're going to be good. But it just shows you why it's so good to have these off-turn damage dealers like Core or like Gladio. Like, just you want to have something like that for these really aggressive fights. Because Tifa can't just, like, pummel through anything, right? Like, if you have Tifa but, like, no way to defend all of this aggressiveness, like, you're just going to die. So it's so nice to have these options. So definitely make sure you guys are adding some type of defensive character to your roster at some point. Core is very good. Gladio is very good. Faris is good with the off turn and, like, the brave lowering. I wouldn't really consider Faris a tank though, because it, you know, Faris isn't really helping mitigate damage other than she's debuffing the enemies, which is therefore making them do less damage. So Faris is definitely a nice option, but I do feel like everyone wants to have, like, a nice true tank on their team, right? All right, so here we go. Now things are getting real. We got the force time. We do still have a launch here, but those launches are going to be running out. Now, the unfortunate part about not running Luna Freya is I couldn't set up Tifa to take multiple turns. But it worked out pretty nice here that we only have to get through one Garnet turn, and then we're going to be right back into Tifa. So, not too much of a delay here, which is nice. Obviously, worst case scenario would have been Garnet, then Core, then Tifa. So, we're only missing out on one turn. Garnet, unfortunately, is pretty much all AoE, so we won't be getting that single target boost from Tifa's force. But that's okay. We'll take these off turn, even at 125%, it's still good damage. So I think I just Aquamarine here, I'm pretty sure, or do I LD? Yeah, I think Aquamarine, yeah. So keep the Brave gains coming. Once again, this is going to be a pretty low gain on the Force HP percentage. What do we get for that? Well, we still got 40%, so that works. That works. And it might have been that Core jumping in counted for this single target, I don't know, but we ended up with 40% there. So we'll take it. We will definitely take it. Alright, so now we're going to get Tifa up, and then we're going to go. But look at this, like, we just set up, and they're already, like, below 60%. And part of it is they basically just are stabbing themselves on Core Sword, is what they're doing. These enemies just love to impale themselves on your counter characters. So, I mean, you run any triple counter comp, which I do in another video in my Max Fair Showcase, which I believe is already up. I kind of did it in reverse order. I actually recorded this before then, but now I'm doing the actual video. Like, so I actually recorded it on my phone before I did the Ferris video, but I recorded the Ferris video and posted that right away. And now I'm doing the voiceover for this after posting the Faris video. So this video is actually going up after Faris. But that defense team comp just absolutely shreds this fight. Because these enemies just love taking a bajillion turns. And they love impaling themselves on my swords. So yeah, we'll take it. Even Garnet getting in with these, every 4 turns popping off, right? Alright, so finally burst phase at, 54 and 58%. If you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, you're correct. They are not going to survive this force time. Even with 8 turns left on it. Now we're just really going to be belting in damage. When you get to the point that the enemies are taking like 20 mil shots, like it's over, right? And now, like I said, keep in mind that during this launch, not this launch, but this force time, this is without selfies launching. So keep in mind with how much damage you're about to see here, we actually could have done more damage had we been launching throughout the entire thing. Because you can see we're Brave gaining like crazy. Like we're capped out on Brave. So all these launches are going to be doing insane damage. Now we do get a Dolphin Blow launch in here. But we could be launching on every single one of these. So tons of damage on the table. Honestly, with launching, we may not have even... we probably would have killed one of the enemies before even finishing the burst phase, right? We wouldn't even be able to get through the burst phase properly to maximize out the damage here. So it's fun. I'm pretty sure I call in the Dolphin Blow a little bit later because we want to get that launch damage off as late as possible to really capitalize it. So I'm pretty sure I actually pop the force attack before the EX. I think I leave the EX right before the burst attack here. Because I want to capitalize on the highest percent for... Yeah, that right enemy is going to be absolute toast, right? So I think I opt to go left enemy to even out the damage. We go into the force here. Even with Core's off turn, that right enemy is just going to pop pretty soon. Because Tifa here is doing all single target, but Core's doing AoEs. Okay, so what do we got here? Just a very casual, easy... This has got to be a 20 mil plus shot, right? Yeah, 18 mil, so about a 20 mil shot. Pretty darn close. That right enemy just lost, what, like 3% just on the overflow damage there? And then Dolphin Blow, this is going to be like the nail in the coffin. This is going to be insane damage. This is 570% with a launch in the double follow-up for a BT effect. This is a humongous shot here. Yeah, we actually kill the left enemy who had like 20-something%. Yeah, 28 mil on that singular launch. We did 28 million damage on that singular launch. And then we just so we don't even finish the force time. This is it. Absolute annihilation. These bosses probably needed like twice as much HP to actually properly show off how much damage we do during this force. And there you go. 128 mil without launching the entire way. And that is currently, I think, the highest burst phase I've ever had in this game. And that was pretty easy peasy casual. You can maximize the crap out of that and up that a bit higher, right? So 11 turns, super easy, clean, clear. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.